This is gross.
Alan Massenburg, man, how you doing, man? Thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, I'm good, guys. I can't complain, man. I'm sitting in the house with my kids, in quarantine. Everything's good.
Oh yeah, that's we were just talking about you were talking about some new merch that you were working on, and she had an experience.
Well, so you're in Lancaster, right?
Yeah, right now I'm in Lancaster.
Are you green yet? Have you guys gone?
I don't think I think we're still in yellow. I think it's still yellow right now.
Well, where I work went green on Friday. Where we live, we're yellow. We'll be green next Friday.
So will the whole state be green on next Friday?
I think by next Friday, everyone will be green.
I think we're the
last bit. We've been the most concentrated, where we are in Harrisburg and then down towards Philly.
Yeah.
So all of that area has been really bad. So we'll be the last, but I think we'll all be green. But
Alan is somebody who is going to be waiting at least, if I believe correct, at minimum 2 weeks after everybody goes green.
Yep. I need 2 weeks.
Yeah. We'll see what's going to happen is, which I just found out, is it takes 2 weeks to really figure out what the damage is done. So that's perfect because it goes green. And then in 2 weeks, they may go, we messed up. We got to come back. come back. So that is a very smart move to just be like, you know what? No, I'm going to wait 2 weeks.
Yeah. I didn't pick 2 weeks out of thin air. That was the reason. They said 14 days is like the incubation period. I don't know whatever it's called. Yeah. But I was like, okay, that's what I'll wait. I'll wait 14 days, and y'all let me know what the status is looking like.
Have you known anybody yet that has it? Like any family member? I mean, you don't have to give away their name or anything, but
I want to know where they live.
Yeah, let me know where they are. But has there been anybody that that personally that's had it?
Yep, my cousin and his wife had it.
Wow. Oh no! How did they fare?
They're my dad's first cousin, so they're older. You know what I mean? And my dad told me about it. He was like, your uncle and his wife, or your cousin and his wife, they had coronavirus, but they got over it though. I'm like, oh, thanks for letting me know.
Yeah, I might have had to call to say goodbye.
When?
Oh man.
Yeah, so they had it, and they live up in Connecticut. You know what I mean? So they had it, but they beat it, and they're fine now. I mean, I don't know anybody personally that has died from it or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't know anybody that's even had it.
Yeah, I mean,
none of my family members.
It's one of those things that it's not going to hurt to make a mask. You're talking about possibly making some face masks, but it doesn't hurt. My biggest thing is even if you think it's a scam or if you think it's bullshit or whatever, let's just pretend like it's not. Because it doesn't really hurt to wear a mask. They're like, I have a health condition that I've been watching the videos of mainly white people getting kicked out of stores because they're like, I have a condition and my doctor. One lady tried to say she had a doctor's note that said she didn't have to wear a mask. I was like, how the fuck? What doctor do you go to? That's
because her doctor's trying to kill her. That's right.
Yeah. It's like, I'm done dealing with this woman. Go out.
Yeah. No. You're immune. Let them know you're immune.
You're immune. That's true.
But what was
one of my baristas? She went to Salvation Army 3 days ago, and there was a woman in there that refused to wear a mask, and they were like, okay, well, you can't go out. And she's like, I have cancer, and she goes on this long list of things. But then customers started coming up to her and just lecturing her, and then somebody was like, give me your number, I'll FaceTime you and I'll go down the aisle. I was like, that's kind of crazy too, to be one person in a store and then everybody just gang up on you. I agree, she needs to wear a face mask, but it's just that's crazy. I would not have gone up to her and been like, these are all the reasons why you need to do this. Ugh. But
I mean, me personally, I probably wouldn't have went up to that person.
Yeah.
I don't mind letting people be ignorant. Go ahead.
Right.
I mean, I believe in natural selection, so if that's what you want to do, and then the thing is, I know people that when you have cancer, you should be wearing masks pretty much all the time because your immune system is weak. Not even especially right now, you should be double masked up. You know what I mean? So it doesn't make any sense.
Right.
It's stupid.
Yeah. And then, so then was it yesterday?
Yeah.
Friday.
Yeah.
I had a customer because that was the first day we went green.
Yeah.
He comes in on the phone with a hand mask with a mask in his hand, like on the phone like this, and then the mask is like in his hand. And I'm at the front of the store, and I was like, "Sir, I need you to put your face mask on." And he was like, yeah. And he was on the phone, and I was like,
he held it up. He was like, I got it.
And I was like, okay. So then he got off the phone, and then he walked up to like our case, and I was like, "Sir, you have to put on a face mask." And he was like, "No, it's not the legal. Law, or it's not legal. It's not legal.
It's not a law or something like that.
So, something along those lines." And I was like, "Okay, but I'm asking you." I said, "I have 2 signs at the front of the store that says you have to have facial coverings on. I need you to put one on." And then in our register, so we only have one register open in the front, and it has a plexi in it. The other one doesn't. So clearly, this is where you need to order
the shield.
Right. So he refuses to wear a face mask, then steps in front of the other register and refuses to come back with the plexi. So I was like, okay. I said, if you don't want to wear a face mask, that's fine, but you're going to have to go outside.
That's it.
What would you like to drink? I'll bring your drink out to you. And he was like, I'll do that. And I was like, okay. And then he wanted me to print documentation that says that it is required to wear a face mask. Specifically, it has to say specifically.
Do you even have a printer at work?
Yes.
I mean, it's a coffee.
But he said, I need it for my lawyer. And I said, I don't have anything that says that. I said,
you don't have a lawyer, you liar.
And then I have this sign. And he was like, well, you can't make me do it. And I was like, okay, but go outside.
Yeah, just go. Get out of
here. He didn't go outside. He stood at the front door on his phone, mask in his hand. And I was just like, I started shaking. I was like, make his drink right now. And I grabbed the drink. I grabbed my card. Right. I grabbed my district manager's card. I said, here are our cards. Here's your drink. And he was like, I need to see the sign. So then I walked outside with him and I said, right here right here. That is what it says. And I said, and he goes, but it doesn't matter. Governor Wolf said whatever. And I was like, but I'm a business owner.
Stop talking to me without a mask on.
I'm allowed. Yeah. I said,
shut up.
As a business owner, I am allowed to say, I have the right to say, you need a face mask to walk into my building. I don't care what Governor Wolf says. That's my right.
Right.
And then he said he's calling his lawyer and blah, blah, blah. And then he kept talking, and I turned around and went inside, and I was just like, oh.
Yeah.
Like, what does he think his lawyer is going to do if you serve? It's not like you threw his coffee on him. Like,
no.
It's like
serving his coffee. Yeah.
State regulations, right? His it'd be so funny if his lawyer was wearing a mask while he was reading. Like, oh wait, so what happened?
But I guess
I'm going to need you to get out of my office without a mask on.
You gotta get a mask on.
Oh, I wish.
That would have been so awesome just to see him just follow him back to his lawyer's office. Now, I know we've been talking about flags a lot lately. Do you think that's what the little coiled snake means? Is that what he was representing? Just stand your ground when you're ordering your coffee. Yeah. Be a little child and go, I've got my mask here.
And
it's not the law.
A venti, non-fat, no foam latte. And I'm just like, you are pretentious.
You little bitch.
No, they sound so much. Listen, man. I'm surprised you gave him his coffee. I would have threw that shit on him like
I wanted to. Oh my God, I wanted to so bad.
Have you had,
listen, I don't understand though. He had the mask, which means he that's like having a condom and not using it. Like you have it.
And then getting pissed off when you get herpes.
Yeah.
Like,
and try to sue Starbucks for you getting herpes. Like, I don't know what. Like, I don't even know what the law. Like, you did not deny him service.
No,
you did not. You like. So what? Your lawyer's going to be like, I'm going to charge you for this. I hope you know. Like, but there's nothing else. Like, so you're going to get like $165 bill because you've wasted 10 minutes of my time. You fucking idiot. Like, that's. Have you had to correct anybody? Like, have you had to like tell or do you kind of just?
Oh no, let me see. I've told a few people to back the fuck up. Like I really have.
That's like autobiographical.
I'm gonna put that on the face mask. Back the fuck up. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's just like I've been in corner stores and people just really close. Like, yo, you gotta back up. And I haven't had any people like give me any pushback.
It's not the law that I have to back up.
Yeah. Like when you tell somebody, when you randomly turn around like, yo, back the fuck up. Not too many people were like, hold on, what you say? You know what I mean? So it's kind of like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess that's
I'm not going to push that issue.
Yeah. Excuse me, sir, you need to back the fuck up. That's what you should have said. That's what you should have said.
I wish I could.
Sir, you're going to have to back. Yeah, sir, you're at the door. I'm going to just need you to back up a little bit more. Back the fuck up. Now you're good. Okay, there we go.
But I called my boss immediately, and I was like, this is what I was talking about. This is why I did not want to open the cafe.
Yeah, because they were drive-thru.
Just have them come through drive-thru. You don't have to wear a mask in the drive-thru, and that's fine. And I feel more comfortable. We've got an air curtain, so supposedly the pressure, whatever, it blocks it from coming in. I don't know. I'm fine with that. Like, we'll do drive-thru all day long. It's totes fine. But then people are going to come into places to instigate. Yeah. Like Pat, he's a troll. He was a troll. And I was like, I know, but it's just so disrespectful. Like, I'm asking you to. I'm asking you.
I think you handled yourself well. It was this. Once he goes to his lawyer, if he ever does, lawyer's going to say, "There's nothing you can do. You got your coffee. She asked you politely. They had it posted up. There's really nothing that he can do."
Right. No,
a lot of people are forgetting.
He just wanted to push our buttons. Like that's all that he wanted to do.
He wants to go back to the fucking trailer park and go like, "Guess what I did?" Like, you know what I mean? Like, you spent $5 on coffee, you idiot. You still bought it.
Yeah.
You still. I
still got money out of you.
You still supported Starbucks. Like, so no matter what. Yeah. Thanks. Appreciate it.
I think it's funny, Pat, that you think somebody living in a trailer park is ordering ventis and.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
this guy had a black, huge Ford F-150. Like, like he was. I mean,
Sorry. So it's one of two gated communities. It's either it's a trailer park or it's an actual like home association. That's
or jail.
Or jail. Yeah. Dude, I'll tell you what, a lot of prison guards are dickheads. Like, from what I've dealt with, from me personally working there, I've learned that prison, I mean, reasonably, like, I can understand that to an extent. Like, they are just dealing with already convicted dickheads for the most part. And also probably try to get tricked a lot. But, I mean, just big, fat, dumb assholes. Like, that's what they really are.
When I worked at the mall, all the mall security were prison guards.
Big fat dumbass.
Yeah. So that was their night job was the mall, and then their day job was at the prison.
Not saying all of them. But prison guards are bad.
That's the funny part. I was waiting for y'all to get done with your rant because my mom is a prison guard.
Oh, really? Holy shit. Is she a dickhead? I will say this. Awesome. Any female prison guard that I've dealt with that, like, literally in the same card, like, they were going to I think the store is on the way there, on their way to work. Yeah. But anytime they are nicer. Which is
don't double back now.
No. I'm not. No, I asked you a question and I'm waiting for the answer. Is she a dickhead?
No, she's not.
Okay, all right. Okay. Well then, so that's the situation. Is a lot of them are big fat bald white guys as well. Yeah. So I don't know if that has
all the ones I know are white dudes. They're completely white dudes that have this power trip.
Yeah.
Oh my god, and it was bad like at the mall because they were security or prison guards. Yeah. They had like this arrogance, like they're not just a mall cop.
You know what? And you know what it feels like?
They're just pompuses.
It almost feels like a kid like fucking with animals at a zoo or something like that. Yeah. Like that's this kind of thing. Like, like that's what they, because like open the door, man. Open the door. Take your little utility belt off and let's see what happens, bud.
That's spot on. And for a little bit of background, my mom was also a prison guard while she was a preacher. So she's not like one of so she's not one of those dickheads. She's actually, she moves with love. You know what I'm saying?
She's somebody that's actually trying to rehabilitate.
She'll help. Yeah, she'll probably actually help somebody in there.
And that's what I'm saying. How long has she been a prison guard? Like, or is that?
What am I? This is like she's been doing this for like 15 years at least.
Wow, that's a fucking. I'm assuming in a women's prison.
No,
facility.
Yeah.
I don't think she's at a county prison, which is both. So women in, men are housed in the same prison. Like there's been times when like it's fucking crazy, but like my uncle been in. Like, my stepdad was married to my mom while he was in jail, and she was the prison guard. You know what I'm saying?
That's not a conflict of interest. We can't even fucking work in the same store, and they get to. What the fuck is that?
Like, they had to put him in a different
key. Like, what the fuck?
That's awesome.
They had to put him in a different a hallway, whatever it's called, part of the jail. But he was there for a couple of days when she was the guard. Yeah.
Did he get extra visits because like she could take her lunch break?
Sandwich.
He could just take a lunch break and go over and hang out by the cell, or like.
Look, he got more punishment than all the prisoners because she was pissed.
Oh,
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, she's like, guess what, motherfucker? You still get to hear me. That's awesome. Holy shit, that's crazy.
She not married to that guy anymore.
Yeah.
You know, so he was a dirtbag. Obviously, he was in jail.
Yeah.
But
I wasn't gonna assume.
Yeah, maybe it was wrong, like wrongful arrest.
No, it was rightful.
Was that a situation, like, I guess with her being a prison guard, like that's a weird situation. Was it something that she kind of saw and wanted to, like, I don't know, like, if you guys have like actually that? Yeah, that's such a weird, like, especially from minister to that.
Yeah, so I'll tell you, my mom like, she never had like a career. She didn't go to college and wanted to be a lawyer or wanted to be a pharmacist or whatever. She always had a job. Like, she used to work at the Federal Reserve Bank. Like, she used to live in Philly she used to work at the Federal Reserve Bank. She was a realtor. I think she was a post worker. Like, she just has jobs, and wherever they have good benefits, she's just going to go get a job. Like, she one of the people that just wanted a job, and she moved to Savannah, Georgia, where she originally was from. So she moved back home, you know what I mean, when I was like, this is probably like 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. And you know, she's just trying to find a job. And she knew somebody that already worked at the jail. They had good benefits, good pay. It was down the street from her house. Like, she started working, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it wasn't even like, yo, I got a power trip. Like, she had enough power trip, and she got 3 kids, and so she's been in control.
Yeah. That's so hilarious, dude, because like that's a position. Actually, I was thinking I
remember you were looking into it.
I spent literally 2 days probably thinking like, oh, I'm going to start a career, because that was the thing. It was like, well, this is a career.
Yeah.
Like that was like kind of thing of like, this seems like it could have good benefits. After 20 years, I can retire or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, she only got 5 more.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Awesome.
That's what I'm saying. Is like, exactly. That's the thing, is like, all you had to, so I was walking up to the thing. This was still in Florida years and years ago. And I was walking up to the office. First of all, I felt very uncomfortable walking into the police. And I was like, all right, this is not a good sign. So like, I'm not going to be this. But then I'm like,
I don't feel comfortable.
But I put a cigarette out and I go in, and they're like, I was like, yeah, I'd like to apply for a prison guard position or whatever the fuck it was. Yeah. And they go, okay, so the requirements are you have to be tobacco free for at least 6 months. And I was like, oh, well. I was like, I just put a cigarette out, so bye. And I was like, then I guess I don't want to be a prison guard. And that was it. Like, literally, just because I couldn't, there was like some kind of restriction like that. You had to be they said tobacco free. And I was like, first of all, I don't know if I'm like even tobacco free. Like, geez, right? Like,
tobacco is legal.
Yeah, I mean,
I wonder if it's because of breaks. Because I remember I worked at a West Marine, like a marine store, not like
not marine
water.
Like boats.
I got you.
Not like the saluting.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, oh.
Yeah, it's like, were you a marine? Holy shit! I'm learning so much today.
No, and that was one of like the questions on the
like the
whatever, the application. Yeah. And so I said yes, because I was a smoker. So I was like, yes. And then they were like, they really liked me. So they're like, we're going to have you rewrite your application. You can't work here if you smoke, because you'll take too many breaks. So redo it and say you're not a smoker. And the boss was a smoker. So she was like, don't worry about it. We'll go have breaks together.
We all lied.
We all lied. And I was just like, that's so weird. Like, I've never.
Did you smoke cigarettes?
It's legal.
You never smoked cigarettes, right?
I mean, I've only smoked 4 cigarettes my whole life.
Right.
And every time I smoked a cigarette, I was at a club trying to look cool. That was it.
Yeah.
That
wasn't my thing.
That's the thing. I think that's
what it was for me, but then I just stuck with it.
Yeah.
I
literally started smoking because I wanted to impress a girl.
Cigarettes.
Like I wanted to impress a girl, so I started smoking because I literally, that was it. That was the only thing I wanted. She smoked. And I was like, I guess I'll get those brand. I smoked those. It's almost like, I smoked those too. It's almost like the movies where I like took a puff.
Yeah.
So smooth.
My favorite.
This one's my favorite.
I had the thought like a year and a half ago, because everyone I work with, like my peers and my boss, smoke. So when we would have meetings, they'd all go out and smoke together and talk. And I'm like,
and she's like, all right, so anyway.
And I'm like, well, am I not going to get the same opportunities? Because I'm not standing out there smoking. Maybe I should start smoking. And then one of my friends were like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. That's bad. She's like, we all need to quit smoking. I was like, all right, well, I just thought maybe I should be part of the cool club because you guys are all smoking.
See, you are the cool club, the non-cigarette smoker. Yeah. At my old job, what I used to do was, like, when people go take their breaks, I would just go take a random break to go do something else. Like, I would stay on my phone, but I would take my smoke breaks even though I didn't smoke.
Yeah. And clearly we did the same thing, because they'd go outside and the non-smokers would sit there and either continue the discussion that we were just having, that they were like, we need a cigarette break. And we're like, okay, go out. We'll figure this out.
We'll keep working on it.
We'll keep working on it.
Speaking of, by the way, we have, man, I'll tell you what, it has exploded with ignorance on both of our pages. Like this bullshit, like that. We've been talking about, like, before recording Proper Ebonics and stuff like that, we kind of catch up, and I'll let you know, like, man, another fucking family member said some crazy shit that I had to go, like, hey,
you're wrong.
Like, that's actually not right. There is a right and wrong here. Like, you gotta understand. Right. And trying to do it in like, she's been a lot more patient than I have. But
well, I don't, like, my thing is it doesn't need to be an argument. I'm like, and I don't have to change your mind, but just hear a different perspective and tell me, like, they were saying that the way I'm going to vote, I'm blind.
She wants to vote for, like, the first time ever. And she posts this thing saying, like, boy, it kind of sucks that we only have two options. Yeah. And we would like to have more something that, again,
everybody needs to be represented. Right. We can't just have this two-party
And she has a family member going, like, you're so, what it was like, you're so blind, you're going to end up in a socialist society. And it's like, what the fuck? Did you read the article? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, shit like that, where you're like, and they're like 60-year-old people, and you're like, how are you so fucking dumb? In a lot of cases, you know.
Well, and my thing is, just tell me why you feel that way. Like, his uncle commented on that same post and said something about being free, and I was like, well, what do you mean by that? Like,
oh, so you want everything to be free?
Help me understand where you're coming from.
So what's their point? What's their point of view? What are they trying to say? I
mean,
they don't.
They're not voting at all.
They're not elaborating. They're just it's all like bold text, lots of explanation points, and not a lot of explanation. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of them going, you know, so you're a socialist piece of shit, huh? Or you want this, or so you think that this is, and it's like, there's somebody that reads a headline and then just spouts they're just repeating. There's somebody that's calling you sheep, and then, like, there's somebody, or calling you a socialist, and there's somebody that's also cashing their $1,200 Trump check. And it's like, do you think that maybe that's a little socialist? Like, do you think?
Look, I think a big problem is people just literally read headlines and they argue. They literally recite. You ever have an argument? It seems somebody just reciting headlines. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of people that they do that. They want people to know what they know. Or they want people to know that they know. You know, it's just so weird. You know, and so that's why people don't want to listen. They just want to do a lot of talking. That's why I don't have too much conversation with people like that. Like, I really don't. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's what
has my number. What'd you say? I hear you.
I'm sorry. That's what we were trying to figure out. Is, like you said, if somebody has your number or something like that, how do you handle that? How do you say, like, how do you?
Like my cousin the other day, she had an issue with something going on Facebook. People weren't open to her viewpoints. So she called me and we had a conversation. Like, we're not going to talk about it on Facebook. We're going to sit here and talk. And I told her exactly where she was wrong at. You know what I'm saying? And she was saying things that was hurtful to, like, the black people in the cause. My cousin is black, and she was pretty much saying that if black people wanted to stop getting killed by cops, they should stop doing illegal things.
Is it Candace? Did we talk about this? Is this Candace Massenburg?
No.
Okay.
Not Candace Owens Massenburg. No.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Again, I've already insulted one of your family members. I don't want to
take down my whole family, huh?
Man. I really hope your mom doesn't. All due respect to Alan's mom, I don't need, hey, look, everybody.
My mom is she's my biggest supporter, man. She might watch this.
Okay, yeah. So I apologize, but also whoever this cousin is, I don't like it so far. But go ahead. you
but
guys
she was
offline, right? Like,
yeah, exactly. But what I wanted to say to her though, and pretty much everybody listening, that the reason she thinks that Black people need to move cautiously to stop getting killed by the police, that thought process is systematically put into her head. Like, you think that we gotta move differently than everybody else. That's already a bad thing that you're thinking that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we shouldn't have to move differently. Now, if everybody was moving a certain way to not get killed from the cops, that'd be okay. But don't tell me Eric Gardner shouldn't sell cigarettes in front of the store because that's illegal, because he might die. Right. Because that's, when you look up in the law, it doesn't say selling cigarettes or looses in front of a Chinese store is punishable by death. That's not, you know what I'm saying, what that is. So for her to, I explained to her, like, yo, you it's not that you were fucked up, it's that you believe the way you were taught. That's all. And we just gotta unthink that. You know what I'm saying? That's
reprogram,
all.
Like I was saying,
reparenting. Yeah. We all need to reparent ourselves.
And that's what I'm saying. Is like that somebody somebody was even we were talking about this, I think, yesterday. So I saw somebody posted again. There've been, it doesn't matter. There really has to be. What I've realized from this is, the thing is, it just can't stop. You have to just continue to like you said, try to educate, try to change that thing, because the one way that I saw it summed up, sometimes it can be summed up in a meme, sometimes it can be summed up in a scenario, sometimes a particular scenario that, like, hypothetical or something like that. But like, this meme was like something like, hey, I just want to just take time to thank all the people raised by racists that are not perpetuating it and trying to change things. And I was like, wait a minute.
That's me.
Oh no. I was like, thanks, but you don't have to meme about me. Like, let's not bring that up right now. We are,
well,
jury's still out.
It is true, because it's very difficult to.
But that's what you're talking about. Is rethinking, like, wait.
It's hard to turn the switch with that, because that's ingrained in you, and that's always been your perspective or what's been taught to you. And that's the point. Like, it's unfortunate that people are taught, your mom has a responsibility to talk to you about how you need to be out in public, because unfortunately there are people that are just going to assume things. Right. And that's horrible.
That's and that's what that's the thing, is like, most of the people we've been arguing with are from Florida or Ohio. Like, it's not new, but those are two. But then you think about the voting thing, go back to the voting thing, those are two big states. Yeah, those are swing states. Yes. Like, so you're like, oh, so you give the dumbest, most dense fucking population of ignorant fucking assholes the most power.
And I didn't know. So this is the first time I was raised as a Jehovah's Witness. So we didn't vote. You don't believe in the government. Like, they're not the leaders, God is. So you just stay out of it completely. So with all of this, I've been thinking about, what can I do? What can I do to help and keep it going? Not have it be, okay, we're focused on this for 2 weeks, and then in 2 weeks, something else is going to happen. Like this, we need to keep this going. It feels different than it has in the past. And you talked about that. I listened while you guys recorded, of like, it was the perfect scenario with COVID because everyone's just at home and that's all you're seeing. And everybody wants to get out. And it's like, this is something we should get out for. This is worth risking. Not going to the mall or what, like, this is important.
This is worth risking. Right. Exactly. Yeah. And that's
so that's all, all of this, change has happened with that. I forgot where I was going with that.
And we're bringing that stuff. We're bringing other things up too. I like the fact that other situations are coming up. Like I believe that they are now showing the video is circulating again of the, much like it was around. It's like where they happen so often. I think we were talking about this. Like, they happen so often that they get lost. Like Chappelle brought this up in his special of like, this situation gets lost because this situation happens and it gets more traction or something like that.
That was the same thing that the Crawford situation in Ohio, and then Mike Brown died, and that kind of died down. Yeah, so but it happens so often that it just keeps going and going.
Yeah, right. But, and so now everybody was.
But we're bringing those back. That's what I like. The fact that I believe one situation of the video of the man getting shot in the chest on the ground. Yeah. He was selling like CDs I believe. I think that was in like some parking garage. I remember seeing that video from like that's resurfacing. Breonna Taylor's, other people, like it's not getting lost in the shuffle anymore. Like we're going back and we're keeping, you know what I mean? Like
I remember what I'm saying. So I've been thinking about what I can do to help. So it's really, for me, how I feel the best that I can do is local government, and just that's where we have to go so that we have somebody that is either we're representing everybody or they have those are their values. Like, let's make some change, because there's a lot of change that needs to happen. So I went to register to vote, and it will not let you register to vote if you have to choose either Democratic or Republican in Pennsylvania. And I was like, what? How is that even okay? Like, from the get-go, we are like failing. Like right from the start, this is fucked.
Yes. That's like you moving to LA and they saying, hey, in order to move here, you got to be a blood or a Crip. Got to choose.
Yeah.
You know what
I mean? What? Yeah, it's literally like, well, what if I just want to support like that Crip and that?
But the thing that was mind-boggling is they show you all the options. Yeah. It still shows you the independent, the Green Party, like all of the stuff. But it's like, nope, you can't choose
socialists.
To vote in the primary, I believe to vote in the local primary, you got to be Democratic or Republican. Yep. Period. Mm-hmm. As simple as that. So I mean, listen. I'm be honest too. I'm also going to vote for the first time this year. Like I never voted a day in my life. You know what I mean? So I'm going to vote. Like I said, I mean, like it's like I said it before, Pat. You know this, man. I believe that my own happiness and like it revolves around me. Mm-hmm. And so that's why I didn't vote before, because I was like, I see what's going on, but I'm make myself happy and do me. But I realized like I got to do more. I gotta vote. I gotta vote, man. Like I have to do it. Like there's no more excuses. I'm just do it, man. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and that's the thing is like something has to change. Like we have to change something. And that is something that I can change really easily. And it's not gonna take a ton of effort. Other than I will genuinely be more educated on the candidates and like and that stuff. I will like read and be like, okay, what does this person really stand for?
And I'll let you know, you inspired me. I think I'm actually going to register to do it as well.
Hey, look at that.
Yeah, see that? Look at that. I'll just vote. But literally, I am 100% corrupt. You tell me everybody you're voting for, and I'll just double it up. I just want to show. I want to represent more people. It's still. I still don't agree with it. Like my thing is, I still don't agree with this at all. But if you are gonna vote, like that's one of those things where, like, literally, you said, like, I think you even brought it up when you were talking about it on the show of like, hey, we basically think the same. Like we are very similar in our line of thought as far as like a lot of political and social ideas. I think,
especially with voting,
especially with voting, because it's one of those things of like, no. Once we start voting on changing this shit, then I'll start voting. Yeah. But
we need more people like us
if we do this
to do
now,
that.
Yeah. So
like that's the thing is this is our privilege. Our knowledge is our privilege. We need to use it.
Exactly. And I will shadow a more educated person's votes until I can actually get to where I feel comfortable voting on my own, because I just
it just sucks that, like, when it comes to, like, the president, like, it's just two options. That's the, like, I hate there's just two options, and I hate there's the electoral college. Like, I wish I could do something about that, but I really can't. And I'm just trying to do what I can do. So I'm just like, this is the only thing I can't. I can't change those things. I hate them with a passion. I've proven that over the last 32 years that I hate them. But I got to change what I can. So I'm gonna just do my part, and then
and it's voting in the people that agree with that. And go, I will try.
Yeah, we got to change something.
We'll try to make the laws that change this, hopefully. Yeah. But
so this is a fun thing that we like to do on the show. This is a book. This is the only book I allow in my house because I'm a very uneducated person. It's called If Double Ellipses. These are just basically a big book of what if questions.
Yeah.
Okay. And so we like to ask a couple of them every once in a while, just to kind of honestly. And it's not to distract from any kind of messages or anything like that, but like this started because of the fucking COVID, and it just ended up being so like we got to stop talking about COVID so much and start talking about, and it just ended up turning into a fun bit. So like I think even after COVID, so she's curated a couple questions, and go ahead, fire away. What?
All right. If you, sorry.
Start out real. She's reading like me. See, that's why I don't vote. That's how I read. It's upside down, Pat.
How do I do this? If you could, in retrospect, thank one teacher you had in school for what they taught you, who would it be, and what would you thank them for?
I'm gonna have to say my teacher. I'm gonna have to go to college. I don't really remember grade school and high school like that. I had a college teacher named Mr. Ahona. Mr. Ahona was a savvy businessman. He taught. I went to school for business, and he taught like a bunch of business classes. He was like from some South American country. I don't even remember which one, but he was the definition of a hustler. And he taught me a lot. He used to own funeral homes all throughout the place where he's from in South America, and he named them all different names so people wouldn't know that it was all his. Like, you know what I mean? So like,
yeah.
I don't know.
I'll never forget him.
Was he good at it or was he shitty at it? Like this guy.
He was good at it. He said he had the whole the shit on Smash, and where he was from. I can't remember. I was too high in college, but he said he had it on Smash. Like, and he said he got into the funeral business because people always die. It's never stops. And
I was gonna say, yeah.
Smart business. Listen, he was in America teaching white people business, so he literally
he knew what to do.
That's so funny that like that I don't know, man, like having a bunch of businesses under different names doesn't sound like the best. I mean, sounds like a smart business idea, but it also sounds like the act of a very well funded poor businessman.
Listen, you know what I mean?
Like,
I think it was smart. I don't know. I think it was smart, man.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, because I think
you're just naming it, like, actually, and you don't have to broadcast to. Yeah,
I was just gonna say, because that's the thing, is actually that can actually turn out to bite you in the ass, because a friend of mine has this. It's very funny that it's in the same kind of morbid sector, I guess.
Yeah.
He has a pet cremation business. And he has a pet cremation business in Hanover, and there's another one that has a similar name that's like also does like personal, like he'll come to your house and pick up your pet and like do like a little imprint thing. Dude, people are crazy about their pets, dude. There's like urns, and like you'll get like a whole big like trophy thing that you can get, or like a pendant that has their ashes in it. You can get like their paw print, and like.
I get the paw print. I don't know if I would do it.
A dead dog's paw print?
I get that. You can make it an ornament.
Either, man. And they do.
People take their pets very, very seriously. And me, I don't have no problem with animals. Yeah. But I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. Like, I don't. They're just kids that will never grow up. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
I think it's the people that do that are the ones that don't have kids.
Yeah.
And that's probably not everyone.
It's not a judgment.
Not a judgment, but I think the likelihood is they can't have kids, so they've just poured all their love into this, and it's like their kids, so that's why they go.
He does try to go above and beyond, and he does try to do all this other stuff, but there's like a similar name in, like, there's two or three names that are like, or words that are the same, and somebody used the other business and gave him a shitty review.
Right, but that is directly impacting his business. When you own them all, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I guess
like it's all yours, so you're not competing. But with him, it's really frustrating because it's like, that's not my business. Now you're affecting my business.
That's a smart businessman. See, there we go. I worked it out.
You just gotta you have to show your work with him. That was what his teacher taught him. Show your work.
That was scrap paper for you right there.
On division of that looks like.
That's why I hated gym class, because it's all showing your work. I fucking hate it. You can't cheat your way through that. It's all like, you gotta sweat, and I was like, no, I don't wanna. I would rather.
Good job.
Yeah. Hey, I did it.
You did.
Look at me, I'm growing. I would have to say mine is probably Mr. Zerker. He was an American history teacher, and he was like the first person to teach me like real American history. Like, he taught me the Kennedy assassination. He's the one that introduced me to that and showed the video to me and everything. And like, he was kind of a guy that like, he didn't treat us like kids. He treated us like young people.
Mm-hmm.
And
like, and a lot, unfortunately, the high school I went to was not the greatest high school, So a lot of people didn't respect him, but it was kind of one of those things of like, it was different, I feel like, with him, because he wasn't looking to control us. He knew that we were all like, it just seemed like he was very much more advanced as an educator. And I would love to speak to him now to just say like, wow, like, man, oh man, I wish you had done a better job with me. But I don't blame you, because I think it was all those other shitty teachers that kind of ruined, like, I like, again.
Was he younger?
Yeah, he was a younger guy too. Yeah. Okay. But he dressed almost, and this is funny. He almost dressed. Do you know that movie Falling Down with Michael Douglas, where he has a flat top and he has these glasses?
Oh, he's in that. That's with Sandra Bullock, right?
Yeah. It was co-star Sandra Bullock. You know,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's like, you know, the cover. He's just fucking with us, but he said, anytime you talk about Pretty Woman, right? Pretty Woman, that's famously starred Sandra Bullock, right?
No.
Oh, sure.
Julia Roberts.
Double check it.
Same thing to me.
This guy's learning about business instead of white lady movies. That's the problem. But no, it's actually kind of a not the best movie to reference as far as people probably right now, because he's a old white guy that's had enough and just kind of but that's what he looked like. He kind of looked like that, but he looks really like a 1960s like regular man, like tie, white shirt, but
just going to work at the Ford factory or some shit.
But I've definitely talked about this I know on Buddha Boys before, but he was the person that I talked to on 9/11. When 9/11 was happening, I was at school, and he was the person I went to immediately, because he was the educator that was able to educate me.
Yeah.
So, but I didn't have him that year. I had him the year before, but I had a class right by him. So I saw him in the hallway, and I went up to him in between classes, and I was like, dude, did you hear that they attacked the World Trade Center? And he's like, yeah. He's like, it's pretty bad. And he's like, I don't. And I was like, have you heard anything else? And I was like, he's like, no. And I was like, what's the World Trade Center? And he goes like, and like, this is how perfect he was at educating even stupid people like me. He goes, it's kind of like America's Bank. And I go, oh. And I go, is that bad?
Is that bad?
Yeah.
Very bad, Pat.
Yeah,
yes.
very bad. Very bad. So he would be mine. I don't know. Did you have any educators that got through to you?
Yeah, I don't know necessarily got through to me, but I have one. But the thing that sucks is I don't remember her name. That sucks. But
great impact.
Well, see, the thing was I was a rebel when I was in high school. So I dated a guy that was 21. So of course my parents did not allow that. So I had to skip school to see him. So this teacher loved me, and she thought my family situation held me back, and that I was going to be successful. She was one person that really empowered me. She's like, you're going to do great things. You're such a great person. Don't listen to your family. So I kind of read her like
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
But she was always like the point is, like, she shouldn't have done what she did, because
yeah, that's what it seems like.
Right. Probably shouldn't have done what she did.
Yeah, look where she's at now, huh?
Yeah. But she was, it's like the same idea of, she treated me like an adult.
Yeah.
My parents wouldn't listen to me, and she respected me, and she trusted me that, like, you're doing this because you need to do this.
Right.
Like, I get it.
She gave you the little bit of leeway to, like, let you fail a little bit.
Yes.
To say, like, as opposed to I can kind of see that.
And then
I
better than that.
And she was so encouraging, like, always just uplifted me.
Yeah.
She was like, you are going to be successful. And she was one of the people that told me to drop out of high school and just get my GED. She's like, you're above this. Like, you don't need this. All you need is a GED, and you can still go to college if that's what you want to do. But, like, and that's why she kind of let me kind of check out.
Seems like
that's why you need balance. So you need that person that's going to tell you need to drop out. I don't expect you to be a teacher.
Listen, my mascot, my high school mascot was the Dixie Rebels.
Yeah.
And the Confederate flag was our like behind the Dixie guy.
Florida.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Florida.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So that's why she was like,
telling you to drop out. Okay.
yeah, she's like, get out of here.
I went to Gibbs on the south side. I was
and my school had the highest dropout rate in the entire like county.
I mean, yeah, because teachers are fucking
like, get out of here. And this is why we were like, we have to get out of
By
Florida.
the way, the South is going to rise again. Don't forget. Now go ahead and go home now.
Oh, it's fine. That school's going to be underwater in 2 years.
Yeah, don't worry. Florida's going to sink anytime.
Yeah, they'll all be gone.
What's the other question you got?
Oh, yeah.
One more.
So if you had to pick the worst television series ever made, what would win?
Friends, starring Sandra Bullock.
No, come on. Friends. I know for a fact that it's Sandra Bullock, Jennifer Aniston,
right?
And what's another white person I know?
Cindy Crawford, I believe.
Is Cher white?
Cher. No, she's Armenian.
That makes sense. I'm tell you why I brought that up, because I seen a picture of Cher and her mom today. And they look gorgeous. I was like, are they black? They don't crack.
They're not white.
Also, it's probably not. There's probably not a lot of original Cher left. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
She's kind of she's the Cher of Theseus at this point. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Keep taking parts away.
But I would probably say Friends. You know, I'm not a huge fan of Friends. They stole Living Single's whole idea, and then they had no black people on the show. I'm not a huge fan of it.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
We had to go with Friends. Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah. I didn't mean to dictate your answer, but I figured. I've known your thoughts on that in the past. I would have to say, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I really can't think of anything else that I dislike for any other reasons, but I can find a lot of reasons why I don't like Friends, so I'll go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, like a show. Shows that like I don't like the ones that just keep going with like no. And I think it's a huge part of why old people are so stupid to this cop thing is the fact that like Chicago Fire, Chicago Cops, Chicago Fuckface, and Chicago, like it's almost like this, or Law and Order, these procedural that don't mean anything. At the end of it, NCI fuck or NC do or CBIS or 54627 or whatever the fuck combination they are. It's the same fucking show over and over and over again, and it means nothing. Like they're not telling a story, they're not helping anything. They're just going like, look at this badass old fucking white guy cop that's slamming this young kid against the thing saying, I know you're lying. And then look, he was right at the end. I think that's perpetuating a lot of like why old white people don't fucking get it. And they're not rogue cops that are doing the right thing for their community. They're asshole cops that are killing innocent people. It doesn't work like this on TV.
Yeah. Stop
telling us to stop believing video games and TV, and you stop believing video games and TV. So
it's all Dick Wolf's fault.
It's all Dick Wolf's fault.
Yes.
He's a dickhead. When you want to talk about dickheads, Dick Wolf, he's got it right in his name.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of shows that she doesn't like.
I know.
There's not. She'll watch fucking anything. I knew she was gonna have a difficult time.
She'll watch anything.
Anything. She'll watch whole seasons and go like, I hated that.
Yeah.
And I'll go, why'd you watch the whole season?
It's true.
She watches The Challenge, The Road.
Oh, I love those though. Like reality TV, I am all about it.
Yeah. So she's
Love
like
it.
almost the exact opposite of like, I need zero substance. I just want something. I want somebody crying and I want somebody hitting something.
Yeah.
But she doesn't love UFC. I don't get it.
That sounds like reality TV though. People crying and hitting stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
I love it.
90 Day Fiance. That's one that you've been watching.
Yep, I've been watching that one. I like that one.
The one where people getting scammed and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Not all the time, but it kind of goes in and out. Like
they're not in love.
That picture you shouldn't have used, and now you're about to cross the other side of the planet to see them. And you lied.
And again, it's like our parents and grandparents that are people that aren't familiar with technology or scams going like, you get to watch them live, say like, oh, they don't have a daughter that cares about them, or something that goes, you shouldn't go to Indonesia to meet somebody you've never even talked to before.
Well, no, there's a lot of parents that are like, I don't think you should do this. I'm really afraid.
What is it? Like how can you have? I'm sorry. How can you have loving parents and still want that? Like I don't. Yeah. They still want to go across the world to find somebody and get catfished.
They're just so broken.
Yeah.
Like they are just so broken.
Yeah, you can't get catfish domestically, motherfucker. Like you can't drive.
One mom said that. Like, why can't they just be in the States? Why do they got to be in Paris? So his mom went on and on and on and like, you shouldn't do this. What if you go there and it's actually a man? And what are you gonna do?
Like,
and
that's the worst part.
And then
gay.
and he's like, no, mom, like we've talked. Whatever. And then she's like, I'm really nervous for you. So he gets there. And then this whole buildup of she's got a secret. She's got a secret that she's got to confess to him. He's in Paris. They sit down to have lunch or whatever. And she's like, okay, there's something I have to tell you. And he's like, okay, what? And she was like, I have a boyfriend. And he was like, what?
You couldn't have texted that to me?
You couldn't have told me that before I cashed out my 401k to pay for this trip.
Although.
And then she left, wasn't like, let me walk you to the hotel or like whatever. They left from the restaurant and she went one way, he went the other, and he's like, I don't know what to do. I don't even speak French. I don't know what to do here. I was like, oh my God, how awful.
Why wouldn't she just say that over the phone?
She was afraid.
So she was more comfortable in person?
Right? I would have been more afraid there. I would have been like, okay, he's here and I'm just going to tell my boyfriend that I have to go visit family and I'm just going to sightsee with him. And then when he gets back home, be like, oh, I got a boyfriend. Like I would not have done that face to face. No way.
Dang.
But I like that show.
And she likes it.
At least he got to see the Eiffel Tower.
That's true. But by yourself, like you're in the most romantic city in the world. You're there by yourself.
Oh, I got a funny story then. That's the case.
Yeah, go for it.
I went. They consider Paris the most romantic city in the world. I went there with my sugar mama, and I ain't even give her no dick.
Oh, what the hell? What? Why? You just didn't want to?
I remember that. That was the trip. That was international
from Amsterdam.
Al. That's what international Al was.
Yep.
I was a savage. I don't know. I ain't give a fuck.
Like, did you purposely go like
yeah,
wow,
was it
this
like
is
a
so
conscious
nice,
or did it just not happen?
and then just cut a fart like oh sorry, kill the mood.
Honestly, like the whole Paris thing being the most romantic place in the world didn't cross my mind until just now. And it was like I just wasn't like I wasn't in the mood. I mean, what is what it is. Like I don't know. I was in a weird space then. I was international. Mm-hmm. And I was having a good time. I was fucked up and high and drunk every day. It was great. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and I think what would make it more special is it is the most romantic. Well, they say that. I've never been. I don't know. But like when you get swept away from the city, like that's when it becomes romantic, you know? So if you go there and you're like, oh, this is beautiful. Oh, you're beautiful. I want to make love to you. Like that's awesome. Not like moment. We're in Paris. I guess we should fuck.
Yeah. City of lights. I guess I'll stick it in you. Go ahead, lay down. Turn around.
Let me spit on my hand.
Yeah. I guess we could find a porta potty to go around here. I mean, whatever, just to kind of get it done. Because that's the thing is, if you're, and I think that's the key. Like, it's not the fact that you didn't like you have no reason to feel guilty because I feel like if like she was saying, if the mood arose, like if you were like, but you weren't in that mindset.
No,
you're just
right.
Like,
so you're not
Paris, motherfucker.
You're like, I'm fucking international, and that wasn't even on the agenda, right? Didn't you guys just decide to do that?
Nah, it was kind of on the agenda. It was like, yo, if we got time, we're gonna catch. Because we went to Amsterdam. It was only like a 3-hour train ride.
Yeah.
We rode through Belgium and then we went to France, and it was quick. And like I got to go to the Eiffel Tower. You know what I'm saying? So, but it wasn't like I didn't think the whole time like, yo, I'm going to get to go to the Eiffel Tower. I just thought I was gonna go to Amsterdam, smoke some good weed, and that was it. But we ended up going there.
Yeah.
And it was cool. I thought I was gonna get arrested because I had like a bunch of weed on me when I went to the Eiffel Tower, and you got completely searched when you went in there, and I was nervous as I had to like hide the weed in my underwear. It was crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, is it not like I would think that again? I don't know how Paris cops are, but like I don't know like if they would be like, hey, you can't have this or don't smoke this while you're on there.
I don't even know if it's legal there. It might
but I guess that's the point. Is you don't even know the laws.
I don't think it was legal there. Like, 'cause I came from Amsterdam where it was.
Right.
So I just had it on me, and I didn't think about it. And we in line at the Eiffel Tower, and I'm looking. I'm like, oh, they're searching people. It's a metal detector and everything. I was terrified.
You know what I just thought of? I just thought of a way to solve the cop problem. and it's actually from a Chappelle joke from a couple special, like way years and years ago. Old black men, like that, knowing the law. Like, do you remember that joke? Do you remember that joke? Like, he said like old black men know the law better than anybody.
That's like, 5 to 10.
Yeah, that's 5 to 10.
Yeah.
Like, we just replace all the cops with just elderly black men.
Yeah, they know the laws.
There you go. And everybody's going to listen to them.
Like, don't do it. That's 10 years right there. Don't do it.
Stop doing that, because that's exactly how they'll explain it. And you'll go like, stop doing that. That's 5 to 10. And you go like, oh, okay. You got it. Sorry about that. Or not. And they go, okay, now we'll have like they'll have like a uniform cops, or like, younger squad. We'll figure it out. But I feel like
we'll iron out the details. But
that's all your I don't know the details. That's all your police sergeants right there, is old elderly black men.
I listen, I'm not gonna lie. If I heard an elderly black man with a uniform on tell me something gonna get me a certain amount of years, I'm not doing it. Okay.
Yeah.
I trust the elderly black man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Very sorry,
sir. That is definitely who we should be listening to.
I know that you are speaking from the heart.
Yep.
My best interest at heart. Yeah.
Alan, why don't you tell the people where they can get some of your cool, like you got your shirts for sale right now at Mass-Hysterical.com, right?
Yeah, it's Mass-Hysterical. It's a dash in between Mass and Hysterical. Somebody, I don't know. Or you can just go to my Instagram at Mass-Hysterical on Instagram. But yeah, I'm just trying to sell merch. You know what I'm saying? Get into the merch game, because when comedy start kicking it back in, I'm selling merch at shows. You know how it go, Pat. So I'm just trying to
Yeah, I started following that Instagram last night, and I looked through it. One, you've got funny videos and memes in it, so that makes it fun too. Yeah. But all your shirts are great, and it's stuff that you've posted on your cardboard signs, so it's perfect. Yeah, it's great. But yeah, I'll definitely be getting some.
Yeah,
sure.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Sanitize before you fraternize.
Yep.
Back the fuck up. It's gonna be
we'll definitely get some of those.
I gotta get that. Yeah, I'm waiting on my heat transfer to come in the mail, and then I'm gonna because like I said, I got like a whole heat press. I'm gonna make it masks.
So you're making these yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Awesome. I didn't realize that. I didn't know if you were using somebody else to make them.
No, so the t-shirt, it's both ways. The t-shirts is both ways, where I have a company where you can just order it and they'll send it to you, or I'm making them myself where I can sell them physically. You know? But, I'm trying to figure out a way to monetize this comedy thing. I don't want to have a job, and I don't have a job. So
actively. and
so I've been trying to take steps to, provide.
Heck yeah, that's awesome.
That's kind of the same thing that we've been trying to do here, is just get
and that's my new style, is I'm just buying stuff from people I'm supporting on
positive
Instagram.
Messages.
It's all like entrepreneurs, and I'm like, okay, let me, like, I'll wear that.
That's the way I feel like we should have been going. Like I said this to you before, Pat, on my podcast, that I don't shop at H&M. Like, and I used to always shop at H&M. And like, since I haven't shot there, I haven't lost anything. I haven't not had clothes. So it's like, I know people that make clothes. Like I can make clothes. So it's like, I can figure it out. I don't need to rely on those big ass companies.
Right. Like you said, it's like identifying the problem and then putting the finer point on it. Right. It's the kind of same thing of like, you may have these ideas and stuff like that, but there was this time pre-corona and the before times where you don't have time to put these things into effect,
right?
Because it's one of those things
you're
of
distracted
like
by other
you
stuff.
don't want to take away from anything else. So when everybody was taken out of stand-up comedy, we all had this big hole to fill, and I feel like a lot of people either spiraled or just kind of complained, and then there's other people that were like, well, here's some time to put some attention into other things and try to get more consistent and stuff like that. And I feel like, again, with us sharing a lot of the same ideas and stuff like that, I feel like we both kind of took advantage of this.
Yeah.
And I honestly leveled up.
Yeah.
Like, even though we're in situations where we have less like showing,
right,
I feel like we both have more on the way. And I think I think that's a huge thing. So make sure you support Alan Massenburg. Follow him on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Go, like, he's been doing a lot of virtual mics and stuff like that. I would like to have, I'm going to start doing the, like I talked about on the last show, I'm going to start hosting the joke reveal party from the Caddick here. So I'm going to try to have some people in studio, some people home, Zoom, stuff like that. and stuff like that. So, and obviously I would love to have you, and this would be either if you feel comfortable here, we're all wearing masks and stuff like that, or if you want to do a Zoom from the home, that's totally fine as well. But anything, and you got anything?
Nope.
Okay, perfect. Well, yeah, wife _ George, and dude, thanks so much for being on the show.
Yeah,
man.
thank you so much.
Thank you guys, man. I had a lot of fun. This was great. That hour flew by. Actually.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it's literally This we try to keep it as loose as possible and just try to have as much fun. But thanks so much for doing it, man.
We love you.
We love you, buddy.
Love you too, guys.
Gross.